put a show out about women who truly stand for something else other than the ratchetness. Blood, Sweat, and Heels. I happen to like the show. It's doing pretty good. I happen to have one of my favorite cast members. I'm not just saying that because she's on tonight, but I like her. Miss Daisy Lewellyn is on the show tonight.
Hello there.
Hi. Oh, you have a beautiful radio voice. She's like, hello there.
No.
That's so true, and it's funny that you say that, because speaking of words, actually, I want to ask you, how do you deal with things like, now that you're on reality TV? For example, you know, we've had Safari on the show who talked about your father and said some negative things about him, and you know, things that have been in the media. How do you deal with that? Do you address those things? Do you set the record straight, or do you just go on and not even acknowledge it?
Well, the most important thing that you must realize, and that was another lesson that I realized, is if before you sign on or accept or even try to pitch a reality show, you must look in the mirror. You got to stand in front of the mirror, a nice clean mirror, and say, am I okay with who you are? Number one, and do I know who you are? Those are the two most important things. Daisy has known who she is since she came out the birth, the womb. Okay. Anything that you saw on the show was who I am. You know, if you see my father, our relationship is genuine. My mother, our relationship is genuine. So, you know, people will always have an opinion, and that's their right. That's definitely their right to have the opinion. But you can't allow others' opinions to sway what you know. If you know that you're on the radio, no one can come and tell you, girl, you know, you're talking into a soup can. No, I'm not. No, I'm on the radio. Like, no one can come up to you and tell you you're a man. You're like, no, I'm a woman. You know, when you just know things,
you know it.
Then they really don't bother you, because you're like, oh, that's just strange. It's like, oh, you know, it might kind of trouble you for 2 seconds or may throw you off, but at the end of the day, no one can tell me about my relationship with my father except for me, and no one can tell me about the way Daisy is in her business but me. So I think you must know who you are.
I love it.
And that doesn't mean that you don't have to be willing to be open to other people, because it's all about growth. However, you've got to know who you are. So I can't let people's opinions
bother
especially
you.
The negative ones. No, and it doesn't mean that it doesn't hurt, because I'm human, but I can't let that sway me.
Now eat your tricks and listen to the show.
Yes, ma'am.